Hello and welcome to Longship Gaming. You know, dear viewer, I'm sure you're looking at this and wondering, hey, this isn't Marvel Champions. This is supposed to be a Marvel Champions video. Well, I thought I would include some visual aids to go over what I'm thinking in this in this quick video. This is a prediction, or an attempted prediction, at what we may be looking at in 2023. So I can look back at this, or anybody can look back on this, at the end of next year and whether or not I have been proven right. See what my predictive skills are like. Usually they're pretty bad. I think, first of all, looking at the way that the tenor things that were released last year, I think we're, for 2023, looking for 2 more big boxes. I mean, that's typically the release schedule. I hope they stick to having 4 heroes released, so 2 in the box and 2 separate expansions for each one of the cycles. I think that's a very friendly way of doing it, especially for players who just want to play a full 4-player against the new scenarios with the new heroes of that cycle right away. We don't really know anything past February with Gambit and Rogue maybe closing out the mutant cycle. Something April, May, and November would be the dates for the big boxes. And then the heroes, the extra heroes in the cycle built in like around July, September. It'd be interesting to see if they go with 8 heroes per cycle like they did with Mutant Genesis, if that's going to be the new norm, or they're going to stick to about the 5 or 6 that they've done, or 6 or so on average per expansion. So here comes the other prediction part. So when you look at the Marvel Universe, you have blocks of things. So we've already gone through like the cosmic stuff with the Guardians, the Avengers and Hydra stuff with Rise of Red Skull, Mutant Genesis, of course, the X-Men versus the Brotherhood, Mad Titan Shadow, the real cosmic, not just the space stuff, but the real cosmic stuff, and Sinister Motives for the Web Warriors Champions versus the traditional sort of spider foes. So I think I can safely predict for 2023, we're looking at 3 possibilities. I think 2 of them are much more likely. So we're going to start up here at the top. So considering how popular Deadpool is, and now Deadpool has been on a card for Marvel Champions. He's in the sitcom modular set in the Mojo Mania. He's featured in that one, so I think probably we're going to be looking at a Deadpool at some point. So I think the next sort of like X group, there have been references to X-Force cards and very early X-Factor cards that they really haven't done anything more with. I think there's a good chance that perhaps this year we'll be extending the mutant cycle with X-Force. So Cable, Deadpool, and Domino I think are givens. I'm not super familiar with the rest of the characters in there. I mean, maybe Warpath or Wolfsbane or something like that might fit into that. But X-Force has had Wolverine in it, but we already have Wolverine, so we're not going to get another one. So I think there's a good possibility that there's so many significant X-villains that are out there. So Mr. Sinister, Apocalypse, Goblin Queen, Strife, etc., that we haven't even touched on yet. So I think that's a possibility if they wanted to roll directly into more mutants. But I don't know if they really want to do that. I think the next block, the more likely one this year, is going to be the street level heroes. So now that the Netflix shows have all been ported over to Disney Plus, they're considered to be part of that multiverse. We know that, Daredevil, very popular, appeared on She-Hulk. He's getting his own series again. So it's going to be very likely that the street level heroes are a box. I'm gonna say that it's very likely this year we're going to see this street level cycle. And I'd like that. I'd like to be brought down from the cosmic world ending to the more, defending New York from the criminal elements that face it. So, Daredevil, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Jessica Jones, Elektra, Echo, since she's getting her own show, and maybe even Moon Knight could sort of fit into here. Oh, Punisher, of course. there's a good chance that we're going to see those as heroes. Almost definitely it would be Daredevil for sure. And I'm not 100% sure about the other ones. Probably Elektra. Who knows? She might even be a villain. Depends on what sort of like stage in Daredevil's history they have. For villains, you've got Kingpin, Bullseye, the Hand, Typhoid Mary, etc., etc. So I think there's a really good chance that we're going to see these. And the only one that I would guarantee seeing as part of that cycle would be Daredevil at this point. He's way, 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 way overdue. The other more likely possibility in this coming year is a Mystic set. They really haven't done much with Mystics other than Wanda and Doctor Strange, which has been quite some time. So I wouldn't expect to see another Doctor Strange, but there are many, many Mystic sort of Midnight Suns characters. So with the Midnight Suns video game coming out in December, I think it's very likely we're going to see this sort of Mystic Midnight Sun sort of block. Ghost Rider being chief among them, Blade, maybe Black Knight, Brother Voodoo, Man-Thing, Elsa Bloodstone, stuff like that. Maybe even Moon Knight fits into that category. I don't know. But, and I think as far as it's going to be, I think it's going to be not Johnny Blaze or Danny Ketch version of Ghost Rider. I'm certain it's going to be Robbie Reyes because he's the current, he's heavily featured both when he was on S.H.I.E.L.D. and in Midnight Suns. And also it points to the fact that on the original box, the starter set for Marvel Champions, the original printing on the back has Ghost Rider in the Robbie Reyes version. Now, mind you, that could have been a stock picture taken from the composition of the Avengers at the time because he was a member of the Avengers. But on the front is Dormammu, and we haven't seen Dormammu as a villain. And he's been in the films. He exists, right? So, Dormammu as a villain, Baron Mordo, Lilith, Mephisto, Agatha, all very popular Mystic characters. So, I really believe that I'm staking, well, my reputation? I don't know. My predictive abilities that we're going to have a cycle including the street heroes that can sort of dovetail in a way into the Marvel Knights, Midnight Suns Mystic sort of cross connection between these groups. I guess we will see. I think in terms of the other major sort of group within Marvel that have yet to make really an appearance, yeah, I know Reed Richards has sort of appeared already in the MCU, but is the Fantastic Four block. I think we'll see that one day. I think that's a long way off and is not really going to be a thing until it's closer to when the movie comes out. So I could be entirely wrong. It could show up this year. But I think my predictions are street level heroes, Mystic heroes, and scenarios for 2023. Maybe we'll get a little something extra thrown in there with a scenario pack that kind of surprises us. But for now, I think this is probably the most likely chance. With an outside chance of X-Force being rolled into it, but they might save that for when Deadpool 3 comes out. So there we have, there's our predictions. Please let me know in the comments below if you agree. What are your predictions? You can call me out, say I'm full of it. If you have any insider information, please put that in the comments as well. But we'll see. I'll revisit this at the end of 2023 to see how right or wrong I was. And until next time, happy gaming. Thank you so much for watching Longship Gaming. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. It will really help the channel to grow and improve. Don't forget to hit the bell icon so you'll be notified when more Longship Gaming content goes live. Until next time, happy gaming.